there's this line which um, was interesting and I guess brave. Uh, India is a land, Bharat is a people, the Hindus. India is historical, Bharat is mythical. India is an overreaching and inclusive idea. Bharat is exclusionary, and there's a little more on that. Explain what you mean by that, because now I would not recommend you watch Indian news, but if you do, a lot of anchors who regularly are parroting what the party line is in the center have started using the word Bharat. India is just not used when they're referring to the country I'm in right now.
In the founding of India, there was this great sensitivity to the different people and the different communities that had become part of an Indian ethos, that had become part of the kind of Indian multiplicity. And I think the name India, which is in a funny way also like it's a kind of almost a metaphor for the country seen through the gaze of outsiders, because you have this like history of the word, the etymology of the word as it travels from Iran into Greek, into Latin, and it becomes this sort of symbol of the outside gaze, which I think is part of the beauty of it, but it's also part of the tension of it. And it's why it's so easy to weaponize that word, because it basically speaks to Indian plurality, but it also speaks to this experience of being seen by outsiders. And in a country like India, which has a history of invasion, of course, like that word is very charged. At the same time, this notion of Bharat, especially as it's being used in political language, is a notion of historical purity. It's a kind of fantasy of wanting to scrape away the different layers of historical accretion in India to get to an imagined idea of what we were before we were seen by the other, before we were changed by the gaze of the outsider. And so you have like this, and that is a dangerous fantasy.